Hey everybody, Jeff, your Executive Gardener. Welcome to this episode for the Executive Gardener channel. So this is going to be a quick episode on tomatoes. I want to give you an update on my tomatoes and show you how they're doing. So if you remember, I've used my own formula of Epsom salt, which is magnesium sulfate, bone meal, which certainly adds the phosphorus, and calcium nitrate. And I water that in some water into both plants, and then I have some in grow bags over there. Anyway, I want to show you how my tomato plants are doing. As you'll see, this is a compact hybrid tomato plant that I got, I believe, from Burpee. I don't remember the exact name, but I want to show you with my little handheld camera how it's doing. So we have tomatoes, but look how many flowers are on this plant. It is really unbelievable, and there's flowers all over. As you'll see, I probably have, it's hard to see them all, but I probably have about 15 tomatoes on this plant, some underneath and so forth. And that same plant is over here as well, loaded with blossoms. And again, I have some small tomatoes that are forming here. Let's take a look at this one. This one's from a grow bag, and you'll see again, tomato here, all these blossoms. Look at them all. All of these hopefully will turn into tomatoes. Just absolutely loaded. So it's really key that you use phosphorus, as I talked about before, and I use bone meal to get this significant flurry of tomatoes just everywhere. And to maximize your space in growing, again, this was grown in about a 1 or 2 gallon grow bag. And one of the things you need to do with grow bags is continually keep putting nutrients in it. So I use a small amount of Miracle-Gro, vegetable, water-soluble fertilizer for tomato plants, and it seems to have worked well. So this is doing well. So the tomatoes are doing really well, and here's another one that's in a grow bag. You'll see there. Again, pretty loaded with tomatoes and blossoms. I mean, look at all of those blossoms that will turn into tomatoes. And as you see, some already turned into tomatoes. So that's it. The other thing I wanted to talk about in this episode, I think it's really important, let me swing the camera around here to some of my more hybrid type tomato plants, is to make sure when you're growing a tomato plant, let's take a look at these two plants. So this plant, you'll see the stem is there, and what you'll notice the stem is that I've cut off all the leaves. So what I typically do is, in branches, I just take a pair of scissors and I simply cut away all the bottom growth. This does two things. Number one, it keeps your plant from getting soil-borne diseases where the soil gets on the leaves and the plants get diseased. So it helps prevent that. But also, you want the energy of the plant focused on the fruit, and the fruit will typically be at the top. If you have all of those extra branches, the plant is putting energy toward building out those branches and the leaves and so forth. You want the energy of the plant focused on the fruit, maximizing fruit production. So that's what I do. So you'll notice I just went through all of my tomato plants here, and I clipped the bottom of them, so there's no bottom. There's some branches, and there's some, as you'll see here, this is some extra leaves that I just make a pile here. So I basically give the plant a haircut at the bottom, focus the growth toward the fruit. And this is a Boxcar Willie, and you'll already see that we have a tomato on there. And here's another variety, again, completely clipped the bottom, and the effort of the plant and the energy is focused on producing fruit and buds. So everything's doing well here. Again, we're in Zone 8B in Houston, and many of you are certainly in other zones where you have no signs of tomatoes unless you have a greenhouse at this point in time. So I suspect in probably 3 to 4 weeks, each of these plants will probably be giving off anywhere between 20 and 35 tomatoes each. But the key again is to focus on nutrients, especially if you're in a bag. If it's in a bag, you got to continually use some type of fertilizer because tomatoes are heavy feeders. But again, give the plants, even the ones in the bags, as you can see probably right there, I clipped the bottoms of the plant to make sure that the energy is focused on the fruit. If you focus your energy on the fruit, it will reward you. So we should have tomatoes here very shortly. I wanted to show you this quick episode, talk to you about those two things. Number one, using good amounts of phosphorus, magnesium sulfate, and calcium nitrate to help promote flower growth, fruit growth, to help avoid blossom end rot, and to just basically magnesium sulfate to keep the plant healthy. And the other was to make sure that you give the plant a haircut at the bottom. So cut any unnecessary branches at the bottom of the tomato plant and focus the energy on the fruit production. So quick episode again from the Executive Gardener channel. Everything here with the tomato plants going very well. Have a great week. Bye.